How do you learn who you really are? It's not found in books, it's found on the battlefield. What's up, warriors? All right, so Rick here. I'm actually just going solo today. I've got a little bit of you know what grinds my gears thing going. So I'm fighting a cold. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit. I'm gonna have a human conversation with you, but there's something been going on with bad counseling, bad therapy, bad coaching, bad advice. And I'm going to start doing some Rick rants for you guys on just why some of this stuff is terrible. Because I want you guys to be able to protect your pack, look out for your family, and watch out for people who are actually giving the worst advice and standing on their credentials or their credibility to be able to justify absolutely evil behavior. There's a point where all of us as people have to look out for each other and do what is right and not who is right. So I'm going to break one of these down that needs to be killed. This needs to be removed from any counseling, any therapy, any coaching, any men's group, any women's group, any group ever that does something like this needs to be absolutely taken out. And if you have somebody who wants to have the conversation with me, just reach out and email. Happy to have you on the show. Otherwise, the concept is being a safe place for your person and weathering the storm. This is one of the things that I've heard given around where I've only really ever seen it done one way, where the female will need to test out the male for a safe place. And what they do is they'll have them unload all of their feelings and their pain onto their partner and just absolutely just pour everything out. And his job as a strong, safe man is just to endure so he can show her that she can just unload and he's strong and safe and solid for her. Sounds good in theory, right? Seems logical. This has a 0% success rate, and I'll argue with anybody. This does not work at all. It goes against the psychology and the biology of humans in multiple ways. Let me give you a really easy example here. Ladies, if your guy was talking to another guy and he's sitting right in front of you and a guy decides he's going to start attacking him, he's going to start ripping him apart. He's going to start going, you fucking bitch, you pussy. And he starts tearing you down. Your wife's a cunt. She's a bitch. Fuck your family. Fuck your stupid, dumb kids. And just starts dismantling your guy right in front of you. Just going off, tearing you down, tearing him down, right? And he's just standing there. Just taking it, just standing there taking it. And the guy's still going. He's talking about you too. He's tearing you down and tearing your kids down and talking about your family. He's talking about all of you, just ripping you apart. And he does this for like an hour, just tearing your husband or your guy down. Inside of you, you're going to go, are you seriously just going to take that? You're going to take that. You're going to let this guy just talk to you about me, about your kids, about you. And if your husband or your guy looked at you and said, it's okay, I'm weathering the storm. I'm just going to weather his storm and just let him unload and just weather his storm. You will look at your dude and lose respect. You lose respect because he doesn't respect himself well enough to say, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk about my girl like that. Don't talk about my children like that. Do not attack my pack. You do not get to do that. Absolutely carefree. You don't get to do that. And ladies, you lose respect for your man if you just sat there and just took that guy, just ripping him to pieces. You wouldn't be able to handle it. You'd say, I lost respect for you. I don't see you. You look kind of like you look like a bitch, man. You took that like a bitch. That's not a good feeling, fellas. Not a good feeling when you look like a bitch in front of your girls. Not a good feeling at all. And ladies, if you're going to say, like, I love it when he just gets just bullied and beat on by everybody and just takes it. No, you do not, because that removes a key element of what women need: safety and security, the reassurance element of we are good, and you will fight to protect for us. You will take care of us. If something bad happens, I know I can rely on you to get into the fray to make sure that us as a pack, we're good. Our whole family is good. You'll be there to fight for us. Let's go ahead and flip this a little bit. When a expert, a mentor, a teacher, a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, anybody starts telling people to have any of your partners do this to the other one. Unload on them. Say anything that you want. Call them names, tear them down, do whatever you need to get it off your chest. Let them know how much they hurt you and how bad they are and how much they're terrible for all of the trauma you put me through, and just tear into them as hard and as long as you need to make it so that they can see that you get it off your chest and you're okay. Ladies, I have never seen this work. Not for both sides. Guys are not trained. Men are not trained. I think you need to understand us guys have big hearts. We have big hearts. We're natural givers. We give everything we got. That's why we're natural providers too. We give everything. Good men. We give everything. Everything that we do is for our people. And so we have big hearts. We would die for our people. We have big hearts. They're not designed that when the one person they love the most wants to unload on them, that they can just handle that. There's no training for that. How are they supposed to handle the person they care about the most just absolutely tearing them apart? We're not built for that. And there's no empathy for men for that. And I'll get into that later. If you were then to say, I'm going to stand on the credentials of this counselor or therapist, and I'm going to have him weather my storm, and you start taking advantage of this situation to bomb on your dude. As you're bombing on your dude, no different than when you were watching another guy berate and tear your guy to pieces, you'd think that he's a bitch. If he won't stop the conversation from being unhealthy, like don't call names and don't rip each other, but don't intentionally try and hurt each other. Don't hurt each other. If there's no standard here for conversation of how I would be treated or how I will, accept being talked to on both sides here, then you're going to start thinking he's a bitch. Why? Because if he won't stand up to you, how would he ever stand up for you? Say it again. If he won't stand up to you, how the hell could you ever expect him to stand up for you? How can he be a protector if he won't even protect himself from that's just not the way we talk to each other, hon. Now, before you guys want to get high and mighty and try and justify your blame, shame, and judgments, I have my men's group. I have thousands of guys in here. We have lots of opportunities of these conversations. I asked my men, I said, if I were to give you warriors, if I were to give you men, the opportunity on my credentials, on my back, Rick the expert has said, go ahead and unload on your girl. You rip her a new one. She has to sit there and you have to just tear her apart. All of the bad things she's done, all of the things she did wrong, go in there and rip her a new one. And she's got to just take it. I said, fellas, how many of you guys are going to do it? I could see very quickly my guys were shaking their head no. They're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt my girl like that. There's got to be a different way, because I don't want to, with intention, go in there and just annihilate my girl. That doesn't look right. Doesn't feel right. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to do that. But it seems like when these ladies get the opportunity to do that, you guys can't fucking wait. Can't wait to just go in there and go, oh, I'm going to let them have it then. There's no empathy and no concept of a man's heart in this dynamic, that if you destroy the person who loves you most, there are consequences to this. But if somebody uses their credentials to give you impunity and remove consequence to make it so you can just do as much damage as you need to unload, to vent out, that guy's not trained for that. It does take training. There's a skill and training to be able to handle this type of information. Now, it's one thing if it comes from an outside source, but it's a different thing when it comes from the person that you do everything for. Different thing. The point of this is, if you want to see who someone is, give them power. You want to know who somebody is, give them power. And to give somebody another person's credibility and authority to say you have the opportunity now to go ahead and just unload and destroy your person, and they take it, that shows you who you are more than who they are. If you take the opportunity to hurt your person as much as you possibly can by unloading on them, that shows you. And so before you start justifying the behavior, well, so-and-so said, and so said, even my men were like, even though you said to do it, dude, I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to have to be defiant and disagreeable in the face of something that is wrong. And this is wrong. And so if you're trying to find a way to explain why it's okay to weather my storm, it really just shows how bad you are at love. Because if you ever want to hurt your person, it shows how hurt people. You're not okay, but to destroy another person in order to call that the path to healing shows how untrained your trainers are. Hurting someone else doesn't heal you. That doesn't work like that. You can't say, I justifiably will tear another person apart because that's my path of healing to bring them down to my level. That is not safe for either of you. Not safe at all. And so what happens is, and it ends up being sad, is when you emasculate a dude and rip him apart from the person he loves the most, just berating him, and he takes it. It makes him become a bitch in your eyes. But it also reveals, ladies, if you would do this, you're also a bitch because you would hurt your person on purpose, happily, excitedly, can't wait to do it. Oh my God, how can you call this love? How can you call this a working system? How can I say that this seems like a good way to create a safe space by absolutely destroying the entire infrastructure of safety and security and understanding and connection by having absolute demolition and calling it construction? I'm going to need you guys to process a little more that this is a no-win strategy. Let me give you a little bit more strategies that work versus things that don't work. Stop using this. Stop using it. I have had multiple guys even recently come in going, therapists are saying that we need this, us guys need to just be unloaded on by the girls. This needs to be stopped. And as men, you have to hold the line. You have to say, we do not talk to each other that way. I will not hurt you that way. I'm not going to sit here and be hurt that way. My idea here is I need to connect with you, not control each other. Whoever's trying to be controlling is going to be the killer of the relationship. I need to understand, not command. We're not trying to be each other's bosses. We're partners. And if anybody is trying to use the past as their promotion, you're not understanding the assignment, because that is power, and power is showing you you. Your past trauma, your past abuse, your past mistakes don't give you the promotion to be in control of others, justifiably, because you're not in control of yourself. It's not going to work. If you want to hurt your person, that's not love. I would say you have to look for intentions. I have to listen to understand, but I don't have to be mean to you to say something hurt me. And I don't have to destroy you or call names or call you a dud or a loser or an asshole or a bitch or a pussy or any names at all in order to express some of my unmet needs or figure myself out or heal from the past. I don't need to do any of those things to be able to figure out me, to figure out where you are, so we can actually grow together. I see people try to punish each other in a relationship. What a fucking waste of time. If you guys are fighting with each other, someone needs to be right, someone wants to control, or there's any type of I need to do harm or punish the other person, you're not doing love. And if you think any of these things are required for a relationship, it shows how immature you are in a relationship. You shouldn't even be in one if you use these systems. The purpose, base level of a relationship is it is better to be together than if we weren't together at all, which means on a daily basis, we put in effort to make the other person feel better than if we weren't there. And if you want to use a system to destroy them, how is that better and not worse? We need to be working together on this to say, listen, sometimes I make mistakes and so do you. And I want to hear from your side and I want you to hear my side. We need to be able to understand what are the needs that we have from each other, because we're going to have to evolve out of the generational curses of our parents, because truth is, most of you don't know what love is, and it's reality. You never seen it done right before, and so you're just trying to wing it. And if you're duplicating the same sins of the fathers and the mothers that came before us, you're probably doing the same issues they had and calling yourself the good one. If you ever believe that unloading and destroying your person is okay, leave your relationship. Incompatibility is not justification for cruelty. I'll say it again. Not being compatible with your ex-wife or ex-husband is not justification for being cruel to somebody who you're not a match with. Some of you have dynamics where you may have done non-negotiables. They cheated, he cheated, she cheated, somebody cheated. Are you guys a match or not a match? Did you learn from it? Didn't learn from it? Are you going to renew your vows for loyalty with absolute understanding for consequence now? Are you going to have autonomy and actually make it so you guys know, I don't have to stay in an abusive relationship? Will you have each other's backs and look out for each other? Because I'm going to tell you right now, even in our relationship stuff that we teach, there is zero reason to ever fight with your person. And if it's an absolute non-negotiable that you both cannot agree on, well, then you're not a match. And that's not a fight either. That's just we don't match each other. And that's not meant to be cruelty. Some billions of people are not your match. So to justify in order to make you my match, I will have you weather the storm. I will dismantle you, destroy you, and hurt you with every single word I possibly can. A lot of these things are things you just can't take back and you can't sorry through. And if you have to justify your communication, it really shows how unhealthy you are, not how bad they are. Any counselors, coaches, therapists, any of them who do this system, don't do this. Don't do this to your person. This will destroy love. This is a 0% success rate. It makes women extremely unsafe. It makes them not okay. It makes guys emasculated and destroyed. Your house will burn if you use this system. Never use this. If you want to find a better way, check us out at the Warriors Way Mindset. Come and check us out. We do have a couples course. We just teamed up with a very, very, very talented communication expert too. We teach connection and communication, not control or commanding. We need to listen to each other because there's no reason to fight someone you love. And if you love someone that damn much, you'll never fight them. I just need to listen to understand, even if we don't agree. There's no reason to unload on them because we don't understand. Jeez. Don't use this. Now go be badass with each other, do awesome things, and make sure the day of the person that you are with is better than if you weren't with them at all.